you Marc Fintz?
That's me.
Wow, the writer of the History of Bagels in America.
That's it.
Which is a book I own several copies of. And
you might be the #1 purchaser of it.
Yeah.
Besides my mother.
May I sit down?
Yes, of course.
Okay, sorry to interrupt whatever it is you're doing there. Want to do an episode of Bagel Talk right now, which we just happen to be filming.
I would love it.
Could you believe it? Well, this is fantastic. First of all, congrats.
Thank you,
This is
sir.
awesome. How long has this book been out? 2019?
This book was just released at the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020. It was released in time for Hanukkah and Christmas because it makes a great present.
It's a good stocking stuffer,
Yes.
as long as it's a reasonably sized stocking. And this is great. That's actually Marc on the front cover there. This is what got him into bagels.
That's right.
This was the day. That's fantastic. So what made you come up with the idea to write this book?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. As many people know, I've been involved in the bagel business for some time. And a big part of it, one of the things that I've come to understand is that people's relationship with bagels is very different from their relationship with other foods. Unlike a hot dog bun, nobody has a story about, going with their father to the supermarket to buy hot dog buns.
Nobody has a hot dog place. You have a bagel place.
Right, and people have been so passionate because the product at Davidovich is an old world product. It's made the traditional way. It's made the same way as when these guys were making it. So people have come to share their stories, and people have come to inquire, hey, tell us about the history of the bagel. Tell us about the history of the bagel in New York City. How did it come to New York City? Why is the water in New York City different for making bagels? All these questions have come up. So as a result, before this I had written a book about the rise and fall of a very prominent bagel company, but it was more of a business story, and it was a story about how a company could be very high in business and end up falling and deviating. But that wasn't so much about bagel history. It was just an isolated part of bagel history.
It seems like a very dark story.
It was. It's a story that reads like...
a more optimistic story. Let me tell you.
That reads like fiction, but it's fact. So what I started to do is a series of lectures where I would invite people. We would have people come to this location, to Essex location, to the Village Hands Cafe in Monroe and other places throughout and outside the city, and talk about the history of bagels and talk about how they came.
Speaking of which.
Wonderful, thank you, sir. How they came to be, how they came from Europe, what's their cultural significance, what's their religious significance, how are they different from other places, bagels that are made in other places, how are they different from other breads, and we found that people really responded well, and people would ask questions, and people would come, and we sort of have bagel groupies. People that actually come and get excited and prepare questions about...
What a terrifying concept.
Yes, but it's great, and I love their passion. And tell us about the bagel unions, and tell us about... one of the things that you can discover if you listen to the lecture is how James Dean was an influential part of nationalizing people's love for bagels. People go, James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause, James Dean, little known facts. And we've come to talk about these things, and people have really gravitated, and it's continued to grow. So one of the things that I wanted to do, because people said, hey, can I get a transcript of the lecture? Where can I find out about this? Hey, I want to give this as a gift. I can't come to the Blue Moon. I have a sister who's in California. So what we've done is we've basically memorialized the concepts of the lecture into a book that gives people, in a very simplistic, very readable form, the history of the bagel in America.
Well, that's fantastic. So first move, make a book about bagels. Second move, bagel museum. Is that something in the works?
We're across from the Tenement Museum. You could actually have the Blue Moon Historic Bagel Museum. There's so many interesting and fun things about bagels that people don't know. I've recently been reading. I was sent a series of articles about the involvement of the 5 New York gangster crime families in bagels and their attempt to take over the bagel business, and how the bagel unions oppose them. So people go, are you kidding? Like, bagels have all of that history, and there's all of that history, all of that excitement. You wouldn't think that the Genovese and the
it's very attractive to crime.
Yes, and the Colombos would be interested in bagels, but they attempted at one time to monopolize the entire bagel industry. And these are the types of things that we talk about. So this will hopefully be the first volume of a series of books on the history of historic type cultural things. Maybe we'll do one on the history of babka. Maybe we'll do one on
Bialys.
Bialys. In fact, outside of you and I, maybe people would say, "What's a Bialy?"
Exactly.
All right, and I can.
I'm still not entirely sure, and I've eaten a bunch. So.
And I could go a little bit further and say, I will say outside of New York circles, I say the word knish, and people think they say gesundheit. They think I've sneezed, but so there's a lot of these great foods, and so this is the first attempt to really preserve the passion. I'm very much about. I like to think of myself as a bagel historian and a New York Jewish food historian. My goal is to preserve the history, preserve the passion, preserve the lore, so that as foods become more commercial in the food chain, there's still a place for artisans and people who love history and love the foods.
I would say set up a New York City bagel tour, but somebody already cornered the market on that. So. And you don't want to start a turf war.
No, that's it. We believe in knowing our place. My place is talking about it. And I don't have a bus, a trolley, or I'm too tired to
do it out of your car.
Yeah.
Take two people at a time.
Exactly. Right.
You've been in bagels your whole life? Or was that
no,
always your
I've been in bagels in the second half of my life.
Okay.
I became involved in bagels basically through business and basically through another company that no longer is with us, no fault of mine. And I came to this company, a great company that. The reason that I came here was that the company, Davidovich, was founded in old world principles. The people who owned the company had a lot of integrity. They believed in artisan principles. They believed in providing good products, good ingredients, providing it. There's a connection between food, family, and good health. And that is exactly where I wanted to be. And I found a home here. And I really, really love it. And like I said, the best part is that it's exposed me to other people who reach out to me and say, "We love what you're doing."
I mostly enjoy what you're doing.
Thank you. That's good. That's good.
Where can people get the book?
Okay, they can.
Besides right here,
they can
where
pick
Marc
up,
is sitting all the time.
That's exactly right. I see you're waiting for people. They can pick up a copy of it in a number of stores, including the Blue Moon location that we're sitting in now. Mm-hmm. They can pick it up online at our store, our online store, or any seller of books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, any of those places. And it's really selling really well, and it really is a testament to the fact that as odd as it seems, there's a void in the marketplace for this type of information, and people love food. One thing that the late Anthony Bourdain taught me was that food transcends people's political differences, any differences that people have. The one thing that everybody can come together on is their love and their passion for food, and as it relates to their history and their culture. And this book and the people's response to it has definitely shown that.
Oh yeah, it's a great book. Makes a great gift. It's good. It's also not an aggressive or imposing book. It's not that many pages, so you'll finish it and you'll learn a lot. So
absolutely,
I would highly recommend it. Now the big final question: what's your favorite bagel and topping?
Excellent question. So I'm a purist. Mm-hmm. While I love the fact that there are rainbow bagels and chocolate chip bagels, for me it comes down to sesame. Sesame is my an untoasted sesame bagel with a true schmear. The bagel's so good that I don't believe in gobbing on anything. A little bit of butter or a little bit of cream cheese. And in a day like today, when I'm really indulging myself, it's a sesame bagel, a little bit of cream cheese, a little bit of lox, capers, and red onions. It's the Davidovich sandwich, that's what we call it, but for me, it's when I really want to treat myself, and I feel good about it.
Check out Marc's next book, The History of Schmear.
Very good.
Marc, wonderful.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you for all you do.
With you. Joe Pontillo, this was Bagel Talk. Thank you for being here. Buy the book, The History of Bagels in America. Available several places. And
everywhere. Available everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. We'll see you next time. Thank you.